welcome to the stream. This time we are talking about the big occasion, that is the Euro 2020 finals. And here with me is Roshan and Prithviraj talking about Italy versus England, whether it's coming home or is Forza
It's
Azzurri.
not.
Let's
It's
It
not.
it
It's
better
not
be.
coming.
It's
I
better
repeat,
be.
it's
We've
not.
got
It's
the
not
weekend.
coming home.
It's
It's
certainly
not.
coming
Okay,
home.
okay.
I'm
The
telling you now.
chaos has already started here, as we can see. But here we go about Italy first. Like, what are your thoughts first about Italy, Prithviraj? So we'll talk about the formation, the players, the key stats, and mainly the manager, how he has gelled up the team after a couple of
Yeah,
changes. Also, like Bonucci and that back line. Even Spinazzola won't be there in
definitely,
the main
definitely.
lineup.
I mean, credit where it's due, man. Mancini has done an amazing job with the Italy team, and like we have discussed before, a lot of they don't have 11, just 11 players. It's a complete squad, and everyone pitches in, and it's been like that. They haven't lost a single game in the tournament.
Yeah,
That's an amazing stat to have. And the last time they did that was in 1990, I think. Yeah, 1990.
In an international
Indonesia
tournament.
tournament. Yeah, yeah.
Nice.
That's the last time they did that. So that is something to watch out for. Both the teams haven't lost a game, but England did draw against Scotland. Do you remember that game,
We
Roshan?
remember that. We remember that. It wasn't
did you say
exactly the
Scotland?
best,
Did you say
but
Scotland?
it was against Scotland, yes.
Yeah,
Not
yeah, yeah.
exactly the
No,
best game,
Okay.
but we remain unbeaten.
yeah, yeah. Fair
Yeah,
enough,
That's
fair
what
enough.
matters at the
But
end.
yeah, but like looking into the team, like they have been pretty consistent with the formation, right? The middle three, Jorginho anchoring the middle, like being the regista, and the front three definitely, as we know, like have been a little bit of shuffling going around between Chiesa and Berardi. Like, but overall, like the team has been pretty gelled up from the back line. But definitely, one point to focus upon is lack of the fullback Spinazzola. So, what are your thoughts about that, Roshan?
Yeah, Spinazzola, I think, has a very good chance of being named as one of the players of the tournament. Definitely one of those who'd be considered in the team of the tournament because he has been unreal for Italy in terms of their attacking status going forward. He's been a brilliant combination player with the likes of Locatelli and Verratti in midfield, and also with Insigne up front. He's
Yeah,
been he's been very dangerous himself as well, and even in defence, he hasn't been slacking. And
yep.
obviously, that injury in the later stages, it probably must have tore them apart.
has it
But
been declared as a major injury? I thought
yeah,
it's just a
yeah,
hamstring pull.
Achilles tendon, at least 5 months out.
Yeah, yeah. 5 to 6 months he'll not be playing.
It's
Oh,
crazy.
yeah,
So
yeah,
how
yeah,
so
yeah.
how Mourinho deals with that at Roma, it's another situation altogether to deal with. But I think with Emerson in the last game in the semi-finals, they coped very well, especially with the fact that obviously Emerson's got a more
But
natural.
it did feel like they were lacking something. Spinazzola was
No,
incredible
but
for them, and the way this tournament has been, the fullbacks have been really great, and Spinazzola just they look different without him. I felt that it
no,
Yeah,
but to be
definitely
honest,
added
obviously.
like
in attack.
but to be honest, I can specifically differentiate between when Spinazzola plays and when Di Lorenzo or Emerson plays because like the
Yeah,
attacking intent and the defensive mindset which these two have, like it's completely a difference between the team when it is going forward in the line because uh, the midfield does get a support quite a lot when Spinazzola tries to attack and provide a couple of crosses or even move inside. Like he has been that kind of a fullback who also does the overlapping and also cuts
He's
inside. Like
naturally a right footer as well, so he'll be moving
yeah,
inside
yeah,
and helping with that as well in the midfield.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
definitely.
That's what I was talking about, like the inverted fullback kind of a role which he's been adapting into. But let's see, it's kind of a thing to be talked about. But talking about players, and we are talking about the key players, which is the first man like I want to talk about is Federico Chiesa. So the stats are quite visible into the screen, but to pronounce it again, like matches played are 6 and minutes played are 352. He scored a couple of goals and also has been direct into his cut-ins and also the passes he receives. So 14 attempts onto the goal. So what are your thoughts about that, Prithvi?
I think he's also done it as a substitute in a couple
Yeah,
of occasions, and that is the key. Italy have a player to bring on later on if it goes to extra time, which I feel will happen. It is extra time written all over on this game, and I feel there'll be goals before ET and after ET. Is going to be that game, and I think that's a if Chiesa doesn't start, I feel he comes on as a sub and still impacts the game. He's been
yeah, yeah.
amazing for them.
Fair enough, fair enough. And talking about the other, like Chiesa definitely brings a like different dimension to that attack, and with his speed and dribbling and ball carrying ability, he's tremendous in front of the goal as well. So talking about in front of the goal, we come to the man, Lorenzo Insigne. What are your thoughts about that, Roshan?
Yeah, Insigne, he was obviously tipped by many a supporter, especially of the Italian kind, to be one of the main players of the tournament. He started off in a properly brilliant fashion. Obviously, he scored a couple of goals himself, 14 shots, and he's played 5 matches as well. So he's obviously been a regular. I think the only match he didn't play was against Turkey, wasn't it? The very
Yeah,
last group
yeah.
game. So
Yeah,
he's obviously been a sort of main man, but I do feel again his productivity is sort of waning because I did mention how reliant he is on the fact that him being a right footer means he's going to be able to cut in at the edge of the box and have a bit of a curler. But when it comes down to it, when he manages to pull it off, it's a sensational strike.
yeah,
But
yeah.
that's obviously something for the likes of Walker and Stones to worry about.
But Stones has been susceptible to dribblers in the past.
Yeah, that's true. Across the last season, I think we have seen for Man City as well.
No, but
But
to be honest, like
I think
talking
for
about getting
England,
past the dribbles, Roshan, like would you like to point out because the Maguire support has been pretty tremendous because he had Ruben Diaz in the league as so he was getting exploded into the game completely because he was scoring goals with the set pieces. He was getting that freedom to move ahead a little bit, proceed with the ball, and here is Maguire tremendously. Like I would like to say, like a player of the season for player of the tournament for England, to be honest.
yeah, pretty much. I think that Maguire Stones partnership has been brilliant because I think in one of the previous games, I think it was in the Manchester derby of last season. At the very end, they went and hugged each other, and they said that it was because they have been in touch with each other for so long. They've pretty much gone through their entire careers like keeping in touch with each other. They've been really good friends. So obviously, having those two in the same team would have that connection, that chemistry from the youth teams itself. And clearly that's being shown here. Obviously, Maguire does the brunt of the work in terms of the aerials in defense, and also he starts the attacks.
Leading
But
back, like
Stones is a
No, but the one
superb
thing
cover
one thing you
defender.
have to give it to Gareth Westgate is that he's
Wastegate.
brought the
Oh
team.
my God.
come on. There
Did I
is the
say
He's
something?
gone
banter.
into the final. He's just gone into the final and you're chatting shit like that.
Okay. What I meant to say was he's brought the team together. That's one thing that's there with
That's
this
one
England
thing
side.
that's one
We'll
thing
come
throughout
to
the
that
entire
point.
tournament.
We'll come to that
Yeah.
point definitely because we are going to address Southgate today definitely. So
Yeah.
the key players like definitely one of my favorites Italian player. The next onto the screen is Jorginho. Man, to be honest, like he has been written off when Sari left off from Chelsea, and like he was completely undermined. He definitely started for Lampard's team and all the stuff, but he was pretty much underappreciated, is what I felt in last season because under Tuchel as well as he was quite dynamic and proceeding with the balls, and definitely the penalty things is always there in front of us when we see the jump in front of the goal with the stats in front of us, the matches played are 6, the minutes are 385. And mainly, I want to focus about this average distance covered for a CDM, to be honest. Like it's 12.1. And if you check out the entire Euro average for a player, it's around 7.1 to 7.5. It's pretty tremendous. Like because average is like 5 kilometers apart. Like it's crazy, to be honest, for a CDM. And being a register in the team, it's difficult because the main task for him to is the distribution and to shield the backline. But also he has a proper distribution and a 93% pass accuracy as well. So that is quite an influence to talk about. And a couple of key names I would like to mention is uh, the names on the screen. Would you like to talk about that, Prithvi?
So with Manuel Locatelli and Domenico Berardi, Italy have 5 different goal scorers this time who have scored more than 2 goals for them in the tournament, and that's a tremendous stat. So these two have been contributing. Locatelli did miss a pen against Spain, but his overall game has been really good in this tournament, and he's one of the breakout stars of the tournament for me. And Berardi showed us what he can do when he comes on or he starts. He is a tremendous asset for that Italian side, and I think I don't think he starts over Chiesa. It depends on how well he's
But
recovered from the
he's a
previous
pretty
game. I
volatile
think.
player compared to
Yeah,
Chiesa, to be
definitely,
honest.
They're both
definitely.
over different
Because
profiles in attack for sure.
yeah, yeah,
I think it's
and
hard to make out right now who will start.
To be honest, talking about this player, definitely he has been linked with a Premier League player, which we already know, which gets most banter. To be honest, Arsenal he has been
Oh,
linked with currently. Oh,
Locatelli.
so
Oh, yeah.
Locatelli, yeah,
I thought
all for
I
nothing.
thought that was
Amazon.
just people trolling.
No,
I
I
really, like he
honestly
has
thought
been
it
like.
was true.
yeah,
So
Oh
because
that's
man,
also
certainly one to look out
tweeted a
for
couple
as
of
well,
things about
given, and it's
they
something to
they
look out for as well, given Amazon Prime Video have just
man,
announced
man.
their new
yeah.
All or
Arsenal,
Nothing series will
you
be
you
centered
can't
around them.
you can't doubt Arsenal's ambition though. You
Ambition
can't.
and propensity for entertainment as well.
It's a kind of a
Definitely, definitely.
completely
Mostly
a
going to be
kind
off
of a
the pitch.
circus, to be honest. It
It's going to be
starts with
on
the
the.
owner.
It's going to be hilarious. It's going to be brilliant. I can't wait to watch it next season.
Okay,
Yeah.
moving on from the Forza
But
Azzurri.
we should actually get back onto that. Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. Domenico Berardi, we actually covered up a pretty couple of things when we compared with Chiesa and stuff. So moving on to the main topic of the stream is England's formation, England's team,
Look at
and
look
how
at
they
look at
will be
Roshan's
looking.
smile. Look at his smile right now.
Will it be coming home is the biggest question because it has been trending quite a while now. And may that be a luck, may that be a fortune, or may that be a proper tactics and whatever it may be. So, what are thoughts, Roshan? I like to hear more on that. Quite actually, me, including me, the other players have been other people or the fans, I would like to say, have been much critical about Southgate and his tactics. So because it's a kind of a pragmatic approach which he has been trying to adapt with every opponent. He's trying to analyze and change. A couple of changes are only been seeing into the team. So what are
But
thoughts
he
on that?
did almost get found out against Denmark.
Yeah, pretty much. That was a very good game to watch, and it was certainly like a
Yeah,
properly good
definitely.
opponent against. But yes, England's overall journey to the final has been quite comfortable. Like easy topping the group, 2 draws, a win, no loss. And yeah, Southgate, like you said, he's very pragmatic. His main focus is because you only lose games by conceding goals. So his main focus is not to concede at all, whether you play a 5 at the back
I
or a
mean,
4 at the back.
it's harder when your goalkeeper has T-Rex hands.
Uh,
Well, the only way he's been found out was through that Damsgaard bloody incredible strike.
Man, what a
no,
Oh,
it
fucking
was
goal that
unstoppable. It was
was.
unstoppable. Nobody
yeah,
saw that
exactly.
coming, to be honest.
Exactly. Like
It
the
was a
way he
brilliant
got
goal.
it up and over the wall was unreal. But yeah, apart from that, Pickford has been brilliant throughout the tournament. He's certainly been reliable when called upon. I do feel though that maybe the Everton form is coming back in because I think against Ukraine we could see a couple of slip ups, and against Denmark as well there was certainly a cause to worry about, especially since Denmark not only scored against England for the first time any team did again in the Euros, but they also took the lead. So obviously the question was, how do England fight back against that? But they managed to pull it off in the end after extra time. It was a crazy game, and England well deserved to be in the final. It's going to be a really really good
Yep.
match. It's going to be two very interesting lineups and tactics, and hopefully it's coming home.
Definitely. Like one point which I like to address, to be honest, like the formation which he tries, the pragmatic approach. I wouldn't say they are lucky. They genuinely put a good formation. I have the hatred towards that team because of the manager, definitely, but I cannot take anything away from that team which they have performed, and they have been pretty good because against Denmark also they were not clinical. They had 20 to 25 shots shots attempt, to be honest. So it's quite like they had that intent in them as well, because initially, group stages, we saw that it was a quite a like a defensive, like a stay back approach. But when it came to the bigger stage, like round of 16 and then quarters and then moving gradually, they became quite a little bit aggressive, and then they started to push,
Expansive
and then
and progressive, yeah.
expansive football was been seen, and also like a little bit of gegenpress was also been observed against Denmark. So pretty much I'll give credit to okay, I don't like to take the name Southgate, but still
You
uh,
better.
but talking about the key players, and one point I'll quickly wrap the formation with. So we see like Saka being played over Sancho. It's quite a debatable topic, honestly, because Sancho definitely offers a little less when it comes to the work rate for a defensive contribution, but Saka definitely is a kind of a
Fits right
engine.
in at United.
Yeah.
Well,
So
thankfully we've got Aaron Wan-Bissaka to help, so I don't
yeah.
think he needs to worry about
So
that. Again,
Yeah.
a different topic altogether.
absolutely. So definitely, like that was quite debatable, but definitely I would like to address, like I would love to see Grealish start over Sterling, to be honest, because that man makes the team move. Absolute creator of a player. Definitely, I would love to see him, but uh,
Not
when you
happening,
say,
man.
when you talk
He
about
will
the
use the
key,
pace of Raheem Sterling. That's not
no,
happening.
no, to
Grealish
be
doesn't
honest, like
start.
Sterling has been there because of the majority of his work rate and his dribbling, and he
Yeah,
definitely
yeah.
makes some like something out of nothing. Definitely, that's the spark which he provides to the team. And as we can see the stats onto the screen of Raheem Sterling, like 5 matches played, 422 minutes, couple of goals, and definitely 10 plus assists, which as we can see. So he's the man. He's one of the key man which will lead the attack. And talking about attack, the man in front of the goal, Hurricane. What are your thoughts about that, Prithvi?
It's amazing, man. I mean, nobody expected after the way he started the tournament, it was pretty shaky, and he also became a creator. The role he played for Spurs, I think he did that against
Yeah,
Denmark. That Simon Kjær own goal, it was Harry Kane's pass to Saka which got that done,
Yeah,
and
that
I
was a
think that's a
superb through
very
ball. Brilliant
yep
line
yep,
breaker.
and I think that's gonna be a key thing in this match because Bonucci and Chiellini are solid at the back, and Harry Kane might just drop in, and you might see some amazing balls going in there to Sterling and Saka if they
Exactly.
push on.
Like when you talk about Chiellini and Bonucci, like these guys know each other for the past, I don't know, they must have
Definitely.
been around in the
decades apart.
pretty much like between Juventus and Italy, they've got incredibly solid chemistry. So obviously, playing on a physical front with them isn't going to work as well. Like I think Spain tried to counteract that by playing Varane as a false nine, but thankfully we've got Harry Kane who knows how to drop deep and who knows how to play those smart chemistry-worthy balls. So you got to be really smart against them as well, given Chiellini's propensity for the dark arts of defending, including the mental games.
Talking about like opening the defense of, like I like when I watched the match between Italy and Spain, like the CB pairing was a little bit of shaky. And if you see Pedri's pass, which wasn't finished off by Oyarzabal, to be honest, but that pass literally opened up that defense. Like entire four players were shaken apart. But if Sterling or Saka tries to manage that thing, which is rare, to be honest, because they are more kind of a team player, and Sterling is more of a solo kind of dribbler. So whenever Grealish will be on the field, that would be a more impact. I would feel like he can open up that back line, honestly. And Hurricane, to be honest, I would like to give a little bit of credit to Mourinho, because he developed him as an entire team player, honestly, because Pochettino made him as a completely a striker, and he pulled out the each and every ability of that player from and made him a goal scorer, kind of a clinical goal scorer, to be honest. And Mourinho made him a team player. And talking about team player, we are moving on to the next player, which is the key player, and definitely the Manchester United fullback, who is getting a new contract, which the rumors have been coming up, and also it's pretty much assured by Fabrizio Romano that Luke Shaw is getting the new Manchester United contract. So, what are your thoughts about that, Prithvi?
Best left back in the world.
Good shout.
Sorry.
Good shout. It's a good shout.
Yeah, Roberto Carlos.
Roberto Carlos, exactly. Like
I
even
mean,
Roberto,
Roberto Carlos
even
has said only good things about him. He came out in the press and he said only good things. He said he's not exactly the same player, but he has something in him.
the
And he
desire, the
also spoke
hunger to
about,
win.
yeah, yeah. And as we can see this, he's got 3 assists, creator in chief for England, you must say, from the left hand side there. I think he's going to
Do
be
I
a
hear
key
do
player
I hear
for
Chelsea
England.
voices from the behind? Where is Ben Chilwell? Ben Chilwell is the better fullback. Sorry.
Well, there's someone else who said that they'd rather have Chilwell over Shaw, but we can digress over that because the way Shaw's been performing dispels
It's
any rumor.
crazy, man. Last season was tremendous for him. Like
It was incredible. It was
I
unreal.
will not look into the assists and goals or stuff, because like we can. It's a visual test, to be honest, to get passed upon for Luke Shaw, and he has passed it like in flying colors, to be honest.
I think one more thing I'd like to mention about Luke Shaw is a lot of people commented on his defensive frailties during the United season, but in this tournament he's done pretty decent, man. 20 ball recoveries is a big deal.
Yep.
That's really great. I think it plays into what Southgate wants to do, and yeah, man,
Fair
I
enough.
expect
Fair
him
enough.
to do things in this game.
Yep. And talking about a couple of key mentions, we have actually I have already talked about a lot about this guy on the left, Jack Grealish, and also during the Italy discussion, we couple of things we talked about. Paguero we also covered. So moving on to the next topic is the lineup. What we predict is like, what are thoughts about that, Roshan? Like, do you see they continuing with the 4-3-3 formation with the players like Verratti, Barella, and Jorginho making that mid try with Jorginho as the registrar?
Yeah. Like for Italy, the team picks itself. I think you can say 9 out of the 11 players, it's pretty much solidified. Like that back four picks itself easily. Obviously, with the Spinazzola injury, you can expect Emerson to fly in again. I do think there are a couple of things that Mancini might try, though. Obviously, with Federico Chiesa, in the last game against Spain, he did have a problem with his hamstring. He did pull up and he ended up
Yeah.
getting substituted.
I
So
might just be tiredness. We don't have any news on that
exactly,
yet,
it
I
could be
think.
cramp. It could be cramp. Like
Yeah,
I
because
think
there is no injury news.
Yeah,
exactly, he should be fine. But yeah, barring tactical instructions, I think Chiesa starts again.
definitely.
And also in the semi-final, we had news that Alessandro Florenzi also returned to full fitness.
Oh,
So
is
that
it?
probably, I think so, yeah. So the right back slot is also a good discussion to have because Di Lorenzo has filled in brilliantly for them. I don't think we felt Florenzi's absence from the first game going at all.
Do you really think he would change it up just for a game?
I
For
don't think
Florenzi,
he
I
would.
can assure definitely he'll give a second thought because Florenzi is tremendous kind of an attack.
Exactly. You only have quality players to bring those decisions in.
Yeah.
And I think also, there could be a chance for someone like Locatelli to slot in. But again, with that midfield three, like who can you take out?
No, Barella
Who
goal
can you
has
take out?
created a
Jorginho?
discussion about this due to that.
Exactly. Like Nico Barella, I thought he was the most expendable of the three because Jorginho and Verratti are really good. Like they've performed their roles to perfection. Even Barella has been okay, but yeah, because he now poses a goal scoring threat from that right hand side, you do have to wonder, like, is Mancini gonna change up, what's already working so well for them?
Yeah.
But yeah, it should be big team.
Yeah, because like Locatelli or Barella, whoever plays in, like they shift in between the middle three. Like Jorginho is the sole pivot, right? What happens like Verratti draws back and it becomes a double pivot, and the third player in the midfield tries to be a kind of an attacking midfielder, and they keep on shuffling this, and it's quite helpful for them. And Locatelli definitely will be an advantage when it comes to this kind of a role. And talking about the England team, like major stuff definitely we predict it's kind of a predictable thing because only one addition which I would see is the presence of Henderson because as Roshan mentioned in a discussion we had in off the screen, like he mentioned like experience counts when it comes to a bigger stage, and final, what less than that, what is the occasion for Henderson to make an impact and definitely deliver the trophy for them. Will he carry the captain's armband if I'm not wrong, or will it be?
Probably. I can't
I mean,
remember
if he starts, he would.
who's been
He would.
who's been the captain for England recently. I
Kane,
completely forget.
Harry Kane.
Harry Kane. I think it'll
Yeah.
still be Harry Kane, but Henderson, obviously, like you said, his experiences, his leadership, it doesn't need the armband to solidify. He's proved it for Liverpool over the years. He's proved me wrong, certainly, with his
Okay,
quality of play.
about this, one thing I would like to ask you, Roshan.
Yeah.
Italy are going to play Verratti in the midfield, and do you think Jordan Henderson is the right player to go up against him, or do you think he should stick with Calvin Phillips there? That battle would be interesting with Verratti.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking when it came to the pivot, because in the last game, actually against Denmark, the Phillips Rice pivot, it kind of got shaken up a bit.
Yeah.
Højbjerg and the likes of them, they really they took him to task. So I think for the energy purposes, if you really need a proper screen on the double, Phillips, it would probably be a good choice. But I do feel in that sort of midfield battle, composure
I
is
think
key.
Spain did well in closing Verratti down in the last game, and
They
that
did, yeah. Spain
should be
dominated their
something you
midfield
should look
battle in
ahead
that
to.
sense.
Yeah,
Like
definitely.
one thing is there, like presence of Henderson definitely would be a thought to be given, because like when it comes to Calvin Phillips, like he has been that kind of like Rice and Phillips have been a distributor and putting in the long balls for Hurricane and Sterling and whoever is there on the right side, like Saka, Sancho, whoever it is. But the problem is when Calvin Phillips puts in that long balls, they are not getting terminated towards the goals, or they are not getting effectively used. So I would feel like Jordan Henderson will be a more of a kind of a possession and a passing based player, and which can impact a little bit more to the game rather than Calvin Phillips. So I would see, like I can see from Southgate what Southgate has been giving us for the entire past tournament. I can see him deploying Henderson ahead of Calvin Phillips, but I won't be surprised if Phillips is there in the lineup. So
I think the
it's a
main thing for Gareth Southgate is to be sure that the midfield battle is won by negating it completely. Because
yep.
Emerson and Di Lorenzo, they're obviously very good fullbacks, but I do feel that these wingers have enough to get past them, and also the fullback overlaps. I do feel it'll be a really good situation if England can get themselves up that pitch.
Yeah, yeah, fair
Definitely.
enough. So we'll wrap up this stream with that prediction. So uh, definitely, I don't even want to ask honestly or Roshan like what to do, because I definitely know it's England.
All you
But
need to ask
Prithvi,
is the scoreline.
yeah, definitely. So Prithvi, are you with me for Forza Azzurri, or are you on the banter
Definitely.
bus?
I think it goes to penalties, and Donnarumma will be the key for Italy, and he will win them the game. He will save a
Okay.
shot from. I think I really want Raheem Sterling to miss. I really do.
Wow.
He
Okay.
deserves that. Fucking deserves that. Fucking clown
Because of
ass
that last game, huh?
ballerina
Because of the
bullshit
penalty.
in that fucking. That wasn't a
Well,
penalty,
here's the
man.
thing. It is a good incident to talk about with Raheem Sterling, because there have been other angles released recently, especially on Twitter, where where you do see both Mela and I think it is Simon Kier. They do impact his stride. They do impact his stride when it comes on,
But he
when
didn't
he
have the
actually runs
ball.
in between them. He does have the ball. Then he gets clipped in the ankle and on the left side of the hip. So I do
Oh,
feel
come
with that
on. We
amount
can
of
keep this
momentum.
for the
Come
match
on,
time. We
man.
can
Come
keep
on.
this for the match time. You cannot be that critical about Raheem Sterling, honestly. But
Sterling
I
went
can't
down
I
there
can't be critical
fast.
about it because yeah,
He
okay.
went down faster than a stack of cards, man. Come on. How can you just.
I do
It's
feel
just.
yeah,
the
You know what?
primary
I can see
decision of
He
the
you
penalty.
feeling for
at
Denmark. It's
some
okay.
point
It's
after
okay.
football, he's gonna make a CV, and one of the points is gonna be a professional diver.
Tom Daly does not need that kind of insult to his career, man. Leave it. But honestly, that sort of decision I feel is the only thing that can rest upon solely the referee, because if it went to VAR properly, even if it was called the other way, I don't think it was clear and obvious to overturn. But I think the whole incident itself was really badly handled, because I think there was a second ball on the pitch, and also when Schmeichel was ready to save,
Dude,
you've
come
seen the
on, man.
pictures.
That was
You've seen the
absolutely
laser.
bad.
You've seen the laser.
Yeah,
I don't get why people do
It's
it.
rubbish. It's
the
rubbish,
guy
honestly.
still fucking saved it, man.
It was
That's just
brilliant. It was brilliant
amazing.
from him to save it.
Amazing.
But yeah, that whole situation should have been dealt with better. Unfortunately, like I don't know
Do
why.
you
I don't know
think
why the
England
refs
would
didn't
have
take
won?
charge.
Do you think England would have won if he
Yeah,
had saved
yeah.
that penalty?
I think even with that whole penalty
Yeah. We can
scenario, I do
say,
think
yeah,
England had enough.
we
I
can say
definitely do
that. We
think
can
England had
say
the
that.
momentum. I do think so.
Anyways,
Really.
so in a one word, what is your score prediction, Roshan?
Score predictions. This is going to be tight. I think this might be. I think I'm going to go
4
2-1.
0 England. 4 0
Sorry,
England.
I'm
Say
going to go
it.
2-1.
Say it.
2-1.
two
I'm
one,
not going
two
to go
one.
4
Okay,
0, man.
you went
It'll be
bullseye
tight.
last time, so you're continuing with the same. I will go definitely. I'll go 1-0 for Italy definitely. So it's Roshan versus me and Prithvi. So this is the last stream for Euros, to be honest, and we'll be catching up with the EPL season and the transfer window definitely soon. So with this, we will have a wrap with signing off from Voices of the Devils. Here is Amir Panse. Thank you, guys. See you next time.
It's not coming home.
It is.
It's not.